what this story time is about is when I was 16 and pregnant. Dun, dun, dun. I started working at this place called Funtime USA, and I fell in love. Stupid me again. We were like, I want to say 15 maybe. I don't know. We was young. We was like 15, 16. Yeah, we was around that age. I started working at Funtime. He had already been working there, and I was like, damn, who that shorty with the braces? He was Hispanic, and well, his parents were Hispanic. He was born here. And we work, you know how it is when you work with someone and you're attracted to them. It's like you see them every day, so it's like you don't really realize that you spend so much time with them, but you start feeling them. So we had fun time, my little fast ass, okay? We dating, like going out, hanging out. Like I'm at his house every day after school. Like his house was, I want to say, I used to walk to his house. It was like, because of course you couldn't come to my house, very far as well. But this was like day in, day out. Like that was my man. Like he was my whole daddy. You know what I mean? But anyway, so fast forward, we've been together, and now we're like sexually active. And girl, it's like going down in the damn job. Like we put in an out of order sign on the bathroom door on the second floor. Like, anyway, so I get pregnant, right? But the thing is, I don't know I'm pregnant. And the reason why I didn't know that I was pregnant, because it was my very first pregnancy. I was about 15. I had just started getting my period at 14. And I don't know, my period wasn't like, I don't know if my period was regular or if it wasn't regular. Like we didn't have apps. Like I had a flip phone. I probably still have my flip phone. It's probably in the basement. Like we had flip phone. Like my flip pager was blue. Like it was like a little compact disc, and you would like open it. Like it was a flip phone with a little black antenna on top. We didn't have apps, boo. Y'all little kids nowadays, y'all is mad lucky. Y'all got Glow, Flow, all these like period apps. We did not have those things. You better write it down on the calendar, because other than that, you're not gonna know when your period is coming. So I didn't know. Second of all, my mom is very West Indian. There is no discussion of period, sex, hygiene. Like, make sure you don't smell, make sure you wash your punky. That was it. There is no conversation. So everything that I learned through experience and through my older cousin at the time. So I didn't know I was pregnant. I had still been getting my period, or what I thought was my period. Like every month I still was bleeding for 3 months straight. I kept getting a cycle, and I was just like, now looking back, like maybe it wasn't my real cycle. Maybe it was just like the lining of the uterus. Don't give me the line. I don't know what it was, but every month it wasn't, now looking back, it wasn't like at a certain time of the month. I don't think it was. It probably wasn't like, you know, like a set date that it was happening, but because I was seeing something, like some type of discharge, I was just like, oh, it's my period. Like, I'm good. I'm good. Hey, I'm good. Let's get this popping, right? Wrong. Okay? So the 3rd month comes and no period. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, like I just started my period, so only a year in, maybe it's just irregular. So I waited. I'm not knowing any better. No one taught me these things. And the next month comes and no period. and this battery is about to die. Y'all hold on. Sorry guys, my battery died. So where the hell was I? Oh, so no period, right? So I'm like, all right, let me just wait a little while, because like you miss, like, you know, like the first week or whatever, you're like, let me wait like another, what, 2 weeks or something for it to come through, right? Because it's gonna come. I ain't pregnant. So I wait, right? No period. So now I'm like, damn, I'm sleeping like crazy. Like I remember being in science class one day, and like I had this nice white shirt, this white sweater that my sister gave me, and like the sweater had like a V right here, and it was like this real nice, like almost satin material. Now, if you know anything about materials, satin shows everything. Like if you got a lump, a bump, something, it's going to show. So I remember this one guy, he probably doesn't even remember. I'm not going to say his name because we still speak to this day. He came to me in the hallway and he like touched my stomach. And he was like, you pregnant? And I immediately said, like I sucked, when I say sucked it in, girl, I sucked that stomach in so fast. And I was like, what are you, dumb? And he was like, and he touched it again and he was like, oh, I'm bugging. I'm like, yeah, nigga. And I was like, I was sleeping a lot. Like I was in class one day and like my teacher came over to me. It was in science class, and I sat in the third seat to the back, and she came over to me and she like tapped me on my shoulder. I had fallen asleep, and she was like, is everything okay? Like, you're not getting enough rest at home? Like, why are you sleeping? And I'm like, oh no. Mind you, when she tapped my shoulder, my pants, I had unbuttoned my pants because my stomach had started to like grow, and my pants was so, it wasn't like so tight where like I couldn't button it, or like I shouldn't be walking around with them tight type of pants. But when you sit down and you get tired and you lay down, because I was like this, lay down on my desk, that bulges through your pants. So I would like open my pants and I'd be like, all right, it's nap time. Like it was like routine. Like every day science class, I'm gonna take a nap. Like it was just routine. And something was just like, I don't even remember if I actually took a pregnancy test, or like I just kind of knew at that point, like, okay, I'm pregnant. I really can't recall, but I found out that I was pregnant, and I told him that I was pregnant, and we were only 15. Like we were the same age, and I think his birthday was like July 10th. July 10th? July 7th. I think it was July 7th. I don't know, but like I was older than him by like a few months, and like we were kids. What are we gonna, how am I gonna rate on on fucking $7, $5 an hour? How am I gonna raise a kid? So I found out I was pregnant, and we both decided, like, I was just like, I'm keeping my baby. Like, I'm gonna keep my baby. I don't care what no one's, like, I was such a rebel at that age. Like, my parents were just like the Jamaican kind of, like, you can't go out to the movies, you can't do this, you can't do that. So I was just like, watch me. Hey, Bella. And I was just like, watch me. Like, I'm gonna do everything that you tell me I can't do, because I could do it. And I just was like, I'm gonna keep my baby. Right, Bella? Right, Mama? And he was just like, we can't keep the baby. And I was just like, when he told me we couldn't keep the baby, that's when I I only agreed with him on not keeping the baby because he said we couldn't keep the baby. Like, if he would have been like, I'm gonna be in your life and I'm gonna be in the baby's life. I would have had a almost 17-year-old today. 17 years old. But I was just like, what am I gonna do? Like, my parents are gonna kick me out. I haven't finished high school. My child's father is not gonna be supportive. He comes from a 2-parent home like I did, and his mom was already not very acceptant of me because I was African American, and I already knew she felt like that, you know. Whatever, that's her own issues, not mine. But I was just like, now I'm going to be raising a child literally by myself, and I didn't want that for the baby. And I made my appointment for Planned Parenthood. And that's when I found out how far I was. I was 4.5 months pregnant at 15, 16. Planned Parenthood didn't offer any type of, now looking back, they didn't offer any type of counseling or any other option, I guess. I guess once you're there, it's like, well, she's already made up her mind. Let's do what we gotta do, whatever. And because I was so far along, I was a week away of being 5 months. 1 week, I would have been 5 months. It was a 2-day procedure, and I went there. I went to the one on Bleecker Street, I remember. And they inserted these like sticks or something into my vaginal area, and gave me 2 pills. And the pills were to induce my labor. Was the worst day of my life. You guys, I never, even though I have a 10-year-old now and I actually gave birth, I never felt pain like that. You gotta remember, I was only 16 and I was in labor at home, in bed, with no one. I was by myself. It was so painful, emotionally and physically. And the next day you had to get up, get right on that train, and go right back to Planned Parenthood and finish the procedure. And that's what I did. I got on the train. Thankfully, my cousin at the time, she went with me, and we did it. They did whatever they had to do. I came out. They put me like in a little recovery room. I honestly, they didn't even discuss like the procedure with me, or like what was gonna take place on so like they didn't even like explain to me. Yeah, sorry. So like they didn't even like explain to me like the procedure or like what would happen. Like I spent a lot of years after the termination looking up like how it happened, or like how my baby was terminated. And like it was just like that was a very hard time at my life. And there was no counseling, there was no discussion about it. It was just like, let me tell you something, back in the days when like girls was getting abortions, it was just like, you know, not that I didn't care, it was just like a thing. Like, oh, you got an abortion? Oh yeah, girl, I got one too. Like that was like the environment. Like that's how girls like spoke about it. It was just like, oh, I got like 3 abortions, girl. Like it's nothing. Like, girl, they was scraping our insides out. Like, I mean, thankfully after that situation that happened, I got on birth control. Still no guidance, still no counseling, still no help, still no conversation from anyone telling me like what to do, or like how I should move, or you know, wear protection. Or people, you would see like commercials, so HIV protect, wrap up, whatever, like on Rap City or BET or something like that, but it was never a real conversation. So yeah, I had an abortion at a very young age and very far along in my pregnancy. And I can't say looking back that I regret it. I just say that I regret the way everything happened. Like I wish I would have had a little more guidance. I wish I would have had like more of a mother figure, or someone that would just, I don't know, like a shoulder to lean on and just talk about it, or someone, you know, someone, anyone. But everything that you go through in life is a learning experience. So you learn from it, you grow from it, and you take what you learned from the last point in your life, and you learn and you grow. So that was the time that I was 16 and pregnant.